Adamancapators. This is Brian back with another deck profile. Actually, I'm just updating a deck profile. We're updating fossils. Now, I've taken a few ideas from a few people, but also included my own. So let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with Weathering Soldier. This guy's basic job is to search fossil fusion if it's destroyed by battle or card effect. It just adds fossil fusion from deck to hand. And then we got the Kokimiru. Negates monster effects. Kokimiru Overload, which negates summons. If you have the room, you should bump him up to like 3. And this one's probably one of my own ideas. Neospatian Granule. This helps by not targeting your opponent's monster, and it just bounces. The Morphing Jar number 2 and 1 Morphing Jar. These are old-fashioned cards that help this deck tremendously. You're going to want to run this with a card that's going to come up later on, Prime Material Congrate. Three Mathematician. It's a foolish burial for the deck. Also, if it's destroyed, you get to draw a card. I'm not running Emancipators in this deck, so this is more or less just something different. 2 Ashes. Prime Material Congrate. This is the first time I've run this card. If your opponent would send monsters or a monster from their deck or their hand, from their hand or deck to the grave, except during the damage step, you can special this card from your hand to face down defense. When it's flipped face up, it destroys up to 2 cards, meaning you can get rid of your opponent's like Secret Village or your opponent's troublesome like Kaiju. Another one of my original idea, suggestion a friend of mine made. You discard a card to special summon this at 2200 attack. It's pretty good, but its other effect also makes it so you don't take effect damage if it attacks or is attacked, which helps against Trick Stars. 2 Nibiru. Some people are running 3. I'm just not dropping another $23 on another one. This is one of the anti-kaijus. Yep, anti-kaiju monsters. Most people are running like Gamma Seal. This has a weaker defense than Gamma Seal, so you should be able to run over this easily. 3 Fossil Fusion. Helps you fuse. Main spell card of the deck. 3 Miracle Rupture. A themed Foolish Burial. And if you have Fossil Fusion engraved, lets you draw a card. Specimen Inspection, which makes it so that your opponent has to discard. You call a level and a type, and they have to discard from their hand and deck of the declare type and level. 1 Call by the Grave, because it's limited. 1 Burial, 1 Raigeki, 1 Foolish, 1 Monster Reborn. Staples. I don't think anyone's really took the time to I think this is a very underrated trap card. Protects your monsters, your Rocky Machine monsters, from monster effects. Debunks, because hand traps are a thing. And your defense, Storming Mirror Force. Either that, or if you feel it's too bricky, then just run Drowning. Alright. Extra deck. 2 Fossil Skull Kings. This guy's really good. You discard a card and revive your opponent's monster. Who wouldn't want that? I'd be running 2, but my other one's in the mail. All these guys, most of these guys have graveyard effects. So when you banish him, he destroys a card. Is it a card or monster? A monster. Skullbone. I think he's too slow, but he's like a stepping stone. He searches, what is it? Time Stream. And Skull Knight also searches Fossil Fusion. Or no, my bad. That's this guy. Skullgar searches Fossil Fusion. And then 1 Skullgios. He's like a sword and shield. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Digestal Emerald, 2 Giant Hands, negates monster effects. Also the Earth Charmer. You basically take control of your opponent's Earth monster from their grave and power up and retrieve your Earth monsters like